Hi everyone, are you ready to find out who won? Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna pull the winners from this. Like, look how many quotes there were. So fun to read them over again. Okay, so I'm gonna pull from here, and then I'm gonna do a reading on, how to get unstuck, how to move forward. Most of the personal readings that I do tend to have this overarching theme. If I'm stuck, I wanna move forward, I wanna heal, I don't know what to do next, and that's completely normal. So we're going to do a collective reading on that. I'll timestamp it down below if you're not, interested in this part or you didn't take part in it. Okay, so let's find out who the winners are. This is so fun. I love doing this. Okay, this one. Nita. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Oh, I love that one. Nita. That's so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to tell you what to do after. And the second winner. This is so much pressure. This one. Lisa, positive paradox. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Dr. Seuss. Okay, so thanks everybody for participating. What I'm actually going to do with the rest of them is I'm going to, do that whole thing I do with the index cards. I'm going to write out these quotes with your names, username, and I'm going to make a deck out of them and use them in the collective readings. So your quote might come out in a collective reading, and maybe that will indicate that the message is particularly for you. I figured, why let all that energy go to waste and all those beautiful words? So that's what I'm doing. So Lisa, Positive Paradox, and Nita, if you email me, 13moontarot@gmail.com, and I will get back to you and let you know the next steps in order to get your free readings set up. Okay, so let's get into the collective reading, getting unstuck. So I'm using these cards here. They're the Lakota Sweat Lodge cards. I don't use them often, so I'm not totally familiar with all of the meanings. So I did draw them out first and have a look at the meanings. So if I refer to the book, apologies. And then I'm going to go in and clarify with the tarot here. So this is a collective message. So you can take it as a message for the collective, or you can take it as a message for you as an individual part of the collective. I'll leave that up to you. But this is about how to get unstuck from a situation. Any situation in your life. Maybe you feel stuck in the healing process. Maybe you feel stuck at work. Maybe you feel stuck in a commitment or a relationship. So let's see. The first is what won't change, and we have the East, yellow. And this is your perspective. This is your perspective on something that is having a hard time changing. And I feel like, collective, you want your perspective to change. You do. You want to see things from a different angle, from a different light. You want to see the sunrise come up, maybe from a painful situation. This really reminds me of the Ten of Swords in a lot of ways. But for some reason, that's just not happening at this time. You're having a hard time seeing that sunrise, having a hard time seeing that situation from a different perspective. So let's find out why. Well, I'm going to go in after and clarify. Why it's stuck. We have two cards actually came out, Wind and the South. I think I might have to look at the South again, but Wind is, well, you're looking for a dramatic change. You're looking for a total change in a perspective, a aha moment. I get it. It all falls in place. And when we want to get unstuck, particularly emotionally or psychologically, those changes tend to happen subtly, slowly, like the wind. It's just like a breeze. It's not necessarily a whirlwind and storm, which is what the surface issue is of why things feel stuck to you. Because you're looking for that massive kind of aha moment in whatever aspect of your life this is about. Maybe you're even inviting a little bit of chaos, you know, if that's what it takes to shift me out of this energy, then I'm down for it. Thunder beings, I'll put my bolts down, I'll shoot my energy wherever it needs to go as long as it gets me moving, because I don't want to feel stuck anymore. But what Spirit's saying here is that you are being pushed along, you are moving forward. It's just happening in very subtle ways that you either aren't recognizing or you're not wanting to recognize. So there's a need here to attune to things. Now let's look up that South card, because I can't remember this one. It says here, the internal work you've been doing has paid off. Congratulations. You're about to experience the next level of growth and will now be rewarded with new ideas, new sensibilities, and new vitality. By setting aside old patterns, you have cleared ground for the growth that will be yours. Your determination has led you to this point and will serve you well in the future. Let this experience reinforce your future growth and change. Yeah, so I feel like you are getting rid of old patterns here. It's just happening in a very subtle way. So pay attention to the little different things that you might be doing. Are you eating differently? Are you going to sleep at a different time? Are you speaking differently? Are you using different language? Are you engaging with new materials? Like, are you watching different things, or, you know, reading different things, having conversations with new people or old people in a different way? All of those subtle changes are showing you that you are getting unstuck. That I heard that you were never really stuck. The change has to be subtle for you, because if it's too drastic, I feel like, well, I heard a reclamation, but then I heard like a wreckage. Like there's something that could be ruined or wrecked in the process of your growth here if the change was to just happen like boom, like a lightning bolt. So the whirlwind and storm is what represents the surface issue, right? So maybe how you perceive this feeling of being stuck. And like I said, it's like you're wanting something massive to happen, the shift to happen right away. For all of those kinds of, or it's like for something on the surface, you know, in your relationships with other people, almost to be stirred up. For some of you, I'm getting like a conflict or a conversation that you're hoping for that will be potentially antagonistic or conflictual, but it's almost like, well, if that's what gets me out of my emotions, if that's what brings everything up to the surface, then I'm willing to do it. But the deeper issue with Thunderbolt is be careful of where you're putting your energy. Because I'm hearing when you wish for chaos, you will make it happen for yourself one way or another. Now, I don't think all of you are wishing for chaos, but chaos could just be meaning here like this intense change that you're looking for. It's like waking up to a new reality is kind of the wish here. Waking up to a new way of working, or, you know, maybe you're writing something and you want to have this new inspiration, or you're writing music. And it's like you just want a sudden change, but it needs to happen gradually. So be careful of where you exert your energy, where you put your, I heard your electricity into. I'm hearing let things flow. It's good to be active and to push out forwards and have your energy extend forwards and go after the things you want, the person you want, whatever it is. But it needs to be reciprocal. You need to have a signal, an omen, a exchange with spirit to show you that this is the currency wave. This is what I'm hearing, the currency wave that you should be riding. Interesting. So don't force anything. If it feels like you have to force communication, you have to force a project, you have to force something, you have to push your way through it, at this time, that's not going to help you move forward. That's not going to help you get unstuck. That's not going to help you see things from a new perspective. It's too drastic of a change. For some of you, you want to move, okay? And you're thinking about making a drastic move. And it's not that you shouldn't do that. It's just the thought process leading up to it, the emotions around it need to be dealt with very delicately. There's things that your soul, and even if you're not moving, but you're trying to move energy in your life somewhere, there's things that your soul and spirit is trying to say to you that are very quiet, like whispers on the wind, I heard, that you need to pay attention to. Okay, so how do you get unstuck? Let's have a look at this one. It says air. Look at that beautiful formation there. Well, I feel like it's like formulating your ideas. There's a lot of energy here with the wind, with the whirlwind and storm and thunder beings. Like there's a lot of energy available to you, and it's all going to be up to you how you want to put that together in a way that is constructive for you. It's like attending to all the little details here. And all the little feelings you have, all the little thoughts you have, all the little emotions you have, tracking them like in your body or tracking them in your mind. I guess you could write them down too, but I'm getting more of like an energy of just being aware, having awareness, mindfulness of how your thoughts are shifting and moving. And go back, to the start of whatever happened, because I really do see this as a 10 of Swords, from whatever happened here, and think about how your perspective has changed. For example, if you're still, let's just use this as an example, you can apply it in any way you want this reading, but say you're still stuck on someone, okay, from the past, or maybe you're not stuck on them, but you're stuck on the situation, you're ruminating. Think back to the beginning of that. Think back to the beginning of the end. Where were you? What was your emotional state? What was your thought process? And even if you're still thinking about that person or that situation now, how has that changed? What are the subtle changes? Because those subtle changes are much more impactful than you realize. Okay, let's see what this says here. So life force. This is how to get unstuck. Are we unstuck on the page? Yes, okay. Breath in the gratitude and joy. Enjoy all that life has to offer you. Become conscious of the life-giving properties of the air surrounding you. If you'd like to do something helpful to the world, use your mind for thoughts of beauty, joy, peace, and love, and you'll be exhaling all these into the air, where they can circulate among your brothers and sisters on earth. If you habitually resist living your life fully, then practice breathing in air a little at a time. Yeah, and I feel like you really have this energy of like, I just want to live, I just want to do this, I want to get this done, I want to get through this, I want to get over this. It's that mentality I'm picking up, I want to get over this. But you have to go through it. And there's no time, there's no speed on how fast you're going to get through it. So pay attention to that little movements that you make, the air you breathe in a little at a time. That increases the flow with each breath. Let your lungs expand with full, deep breaths. As you do, allow your consciousness of life to expand within you. Stop denying life. Enter the flow of all that life has to offer you. You have the right to breathe in and all that you can, and to experience the joy of being alive. It says, breath is like a prayer. The Creator is in each breath you take, and your thoughts and intentions are in each exhalation. In times of stress, breathe deeply. Concentrate on your breathing process, letting the air circulate throughout, relaxing each part of your body in turn. You share the same air with all living things, and there is enough for everyone. So this is really about, exhaling what you're trying to release and inhaling little by little the energy that you're trying to bring in. And remember, I'm hearing that when you exhale the Ten of Swords energy, that we are all connected, so that energy is flowing out to somebody else. Somebody else is breathing that air in. So it's important that you change that air, that breath, that wind, before you breathe it out. Yes, so that's the message. Before you can release this, whatever it is that you feel stuck about, before you can breathe it out and exhale it, you have to change it. You have to transmute it. Because somebody else is going to breathe it in. And it might be somebody you love. It might be the collective. It might be someone around you, some being, an animal, anything, right? Energy is energy. It flows through all of us. So I think Spirit's saying that the reason why you're being held back here, or you feel like you're being held back and stuck in place, is because it's a process of releasing that Ten of Swords energy into a breath that is fresh for everyone. And I'm hearing stay away from people who breathe out Ten of Swords energy with force. With like a bolt of energy, like people who are angry, right? And they're just, releasing it onto you. Maybe you felt like a punching bag at times, right? I feel like that's that kind of energy. It's like whoever's doing that punching, whoever's doing that exhaling hasn't shifted that energy in their body. And they're going to just keep breathing it back in, but they're also putting it on you. So remove yourself from that space, any space that you feel is like that. Because you won't be able to shift your energy if you keep breathing in the Ten of Swords. And don't breathe out the Ten of Swords. Interesting. It's like it has to move back down, right back down to the Ace for that fresh energy. And then the outcome, fire. Positive transformation, transmutation, action, moving forward. And it's like, look how it began and look how it's ending. It's like that sun that you're looking for to come up, that new perspective is going to come up, and it's going to set everything ablaze. Like all the blocks that you had here. It's like it just sets it ablaze, but it's natural. It's not forced. It's not happening before it should. It happens when it should. It happens as like a purification of the air. This fire I'm seeing is purifying rather than something that is poisonous and suffocating. Because it's like if you lit this fire now, while the air is still full of, all of this energy that you're trying to release, if you just push through it, then the outcome could be potentially dangerous or unhealthy for you, unhealing for you. So this process has to happen first. Okay, I said I was going to go in the tarot, so let's do that. I'm going to see if we can get anything else, kind of more details here. That was really kind of a macro storyline. I enjoyed it, though. I really love these cards. They're beautiful. And they really do tell a story here. And I heard the story is not unfamiliar. We all know this. But people and places and things in our life, I'm getting, try to push us into this energy of you have to do this now. You have to get this done now. You have to change now. You have to feel better now because this, and this needs to get done. Or it's time to find new love. Why haven't you found new love? All of these kinds of collective ego-based kind of chaotic, dysregulating thoughts can just push us back under. So it's great to have that whirlwind of energy of wind, of air, if it's fresh, if it's in the Ace of Swords, if it's potential, if it's not contaminated. Okay, let's get something maybe a little bit more concrete. Oh. Wow. Okay. King of Swords at the bottom here with the Devil. So this is your thoughts. Six of Swords. You are trying to move away from something here. There's something that is keeping you on a little bit of a mental loop. You can't stop thinking about it. You want to know the truth of the situation. You want to know the truth of your own feelings. The problem here that I'm seeing in these cards is that you're desperate to move away from this, to stop thinking about this problem or stop being stuck in this way, stop focusing on something. But yet at the same time, you feel like there's some kind of information or truth deep within this situation that hasn't been revealed to you, that you haven't seen yet. And therefore it's like it just keeps playing out in your mind or in your body. And I feel like you're right. And that truth has something to do with your perception of the situation. There's something nagging at you in terms of how you're seeing things, because something about this situation is getting you to look at it in a way that protects yourself. Maybe you replay the same narrative. Maybe you get stuck in the same, I don't know, comfortable riff or something, a familiar riff. If you're making music, maybe you just keep, producing that because there's a fear here of exploring something unknown or something that could be criticized. And you can translate this to love too. I heard, what if it was my fault? Okay, that's for some of you. And so there's something here that's preventing you in your mind from allowing you to explore that. And that's why you're stuck. That's why it's a perspective change. But again, as Spirit is clearly saying, this isn't going to happen overnight. It's almost like it would be too much to suddenly happen overnight. It's a process. It's like little by little, baby steps. It's like an onion. You peel off one layer and you're like, now I understand that. I'll sit with that for a while, cry with the onion and then let my tears dry and then peel a little layer off again until I get to the core. I heard until I get to the bulb that was planted, until I get to what is planted within me. Okay. And I'm looking at Lisa's quote here. It's just catching my eye. Be who you are. And maybe that's one of the major questions that is coming up in this situation is, who am I really? If I can't let go of this situation, what is that telling me about myself? If I can't get over this hurdle, why? What is it telling me about myself? 8 of Wands, what won't change? The energy just keeps flowing in the same direction. This is interesting, collective. Why it's stuck? 6 of Pentacles. Well, you're looking for outside. I heard validation for some, help, direction. But that outside help you're looking for is not divine help. It's like on the mundane level, an actual person or a resource that you feel you need, when really you need to have trust and faith that you will develop and grow in the way that you need. It's like introducing someone else's energy here to get you unstuck would be following them on their path, or like, you know, her change in the winds, like it would lead you down to wherever they're going. And I'm seeing like in an airplane where you're supposed to put, you know, the air oxygen mask over yourself before someone else. And I'm getting that image here. It's like you want someone to put that oxygen mask on you, breathe new life into you, or maybe not someone, but something, a new job, a new house, whatever it is, right? You want something to breathe that air into you. But if you look at it that way, it's almost if that whatever it is that you want won't be able to protect itself. And it won't, whatever is given to you won't be long term. Yeah. So I'm hearing, don't accept oxygen from someone who's not allowing themselves to breathe. Okay. Why it's stuck to the 7 of Pentacles. It's the 6 to the 7. Well, you've been doing something that you feel should get you unstuck. And it's almost at this point, well, where it's like, well, if what I'm doing isn't, you know, I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing, you know, I'm doing the shadow work, I'm doing the, you know, actual physical work at my job, I'm putting in the long conversations with my partner, like I don't understand why things aren't changing. And maybe I do need something from the outside, you know? But I'm hearing that's just not the way. And it's not something tangible. You're looking for something really concrete. And it's not like that. It's the fire energy that needs to change, not the earth pentacle energy. It's the life force that needs to change. Not the material surroundings, not the material body, not somebody else in front of you. It's the energy. The surface issue, the Hierophant. Well, you feel like you're missing information, you don't have enough information. For some of you, you are a teacher, okay? You're a teacher on some level, and it's stale, it's boring, it's dry. You want to shake things up, okay? And for others of you, you're a student and you feel like it's the same old, same old. And this could be in any way, right? Maybe you're learning the tarot. Others of you, if this is about love, then it's about commitment. And the surface issue is, it's that question, like, what's the key to unlock this connection? What's the key to get out of this connection? Like, what's the key? You're looking for that key, that thing, that light switch moment, that aha moment. And as I was saying before, you're willing to take it by any means necessary. Now, the deeper issue, what's really going on here, we have the moon with thunder beings. And remember, the thunder beings, I want to read a little bit of that because I remember that being extremely powerful there. It says, allow your natural polarities to help direct you in your walk of life. You have choices about how to conduct your energies and where to channel them. Using your skills, let your unique electricity flow in the direction of the highest good. Be conscious of the direction in which you are casting your lightning bolts. Take care not to throw them in a haphazard manner. Careless use of this energy might mean wasting this personal dynamic on projects irrelevant to your inner self. When energies are not wisely served but are short-circuited, a storm brews within, and that's the surface issue here. And you are more likely to throw your thunderbolts without control. There's an endless supply of energy. Ask for guidance to galvanize your attention and get ready to throw your thunderbolts before you to help illuminate your next steps with the moon. So it's really about asking those deeper questions about what is it that I don't want to see here about myself? What is it that's in my subconscious? What is hidden from me by me, not another? You know, that's going to keep you stuck. These questions about another or the, other people in the workplace or what have you. It's like, what is stuck? What is hidden? What is being kept secret from me by me? And direct your energy into that slowly, baby steps, breath by breath. Take a break when you need to. Sometimes when you're doing this kind of deep work, you can feel a little bit of resistance, like, oh, I don't really want to look at that. And that's okay. Save it for the next day, the next hour, later on, next week, whenever you need. But don't forget it. Don't forget that little feeling that you got, like, oh, what if that's it? What if I did that? What if it was, that I said was betraying myself, those kinds of things. Be gentle with yourself. Okay, how to get unstuck here. We have Page of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Well, go forward with whatever it is you're doing. Realize that there's things that you don't know, that you're not going to know, that you have to learn. And that when you learn those, or just even the fact that you're willing to try something new, you're willing to gain a new talent or to, pick yourself up or whatever it is you're doing, that there's going to be people who don't recognize that. There's going to be people who don't see that. They're not going to celebrate you. That outside validation of your change, of getting unstuck, might not come. At least not in the way you expect it to. And that's okay, because we're ending with that Fire card in the Lovers. So this could be a love connection, for sure, a new one. Or it could be reigniting an old one, you take what resonates. And then, so that's for you to decide, You decide whether you want to reunite and reignite something or whether you don't. The cards don't decide that for you, you do. But if it's not about love, this is definitely, or even if it is, this is definitely about making a passionate decision. One that clears the path, one that leads the way. You will know how to make the right decision, the decision that is true to you. All right, collective, that was a really different reading, but hopefully you got something out of it. I felt like doing something a little bit different here today. I'm heading out to the forest to see all these birds, hopefully, that came out in these cards. So I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.